You can bring in people who have the most amazing skills, like they've climbed mountains that I wouldn't even want to get close to, and they have an independence and strength that is pretty impressive, and yet don't really want to be told what to do. And they're the ones who don't really last. And either because they decide that they don't want to be part of this, or sometimes we've had to sort of ease them out just by saying it's all about fit.
The team has always been made up of a very diverse group of volunteers coming from all walks of life, some with strong egos, strong personalities, different outlooks on life, and collectively that meant for a strong team because we had a lot of different viewpoints on how to tackle mounting issues. But I have to say that when the time came, all of those personalities and ego differences and so on disappeared. And the team became mission focused. And that's very important because on something that might very well be a life and death situation, you wanted a common focus on the task at hand.
The one thing that I remember from pretty much as long as I could form memories was the passion that everybody had and the camaraderie. Even though they had very little resources at that stage in my memory, it was very much rudimentary radios. There were no radio repeaters. There were no fancy vehicles with code 3 kits on them. It was literally a brick code trailer and an old 1970s circa van that would have trouble getting up the mountains, but a bunch of very passionate individuals who were down there. They were learning, they were maintaining what they had.
Well, I guess my relationship with the North Shore Rescue, it's certainly been a very long, positive one over decades now. And essentially, we were just a small group of people, and both teams neighboring each other, that would always or very frequently work together, either as people moved from one region to the other, or just every time we had a difficult search, we'd just all pile in the command vehicle and look at the maps and scratch our heads together and try and figure out what the best approach should be. It was very collegial. All been good friends for many years, and we respect each other and always quick to ask each other for advice and assistance on searches.
And I think the important thing to kind of remember is we all have full-time jobs. We all have families. We have our own lives, and at the same time we're running this organization that is providing a huge community service, not only within our own community, but more broadly throughout the province.
Everybody brings something to the team. It's nice when you can be value added. People do a lot of things. I'm a doctor, I do medicine, so maybe I can bring some help with medicine to the team.
Being a nurse is very helpful in the field for sure. Having kind of more advanced skill sets in terms of assessment and treatment and prioritization can be really helpful. So bringing that to the team just as an individual member was kind of the first steps there, and then I was really strongly encouraged by the team to keep using my skill set, and then that evolved into growing our medical capabilities within the team as well.
It's one of the things that's still true now, and that is you want people who are independent thinkers, who are strong, who can survive on their own, and at the same time be able to work as a team. Once when we're just standing and talking, it's just people being themselves and being individuals. Once the call starts happening, everyone has a role. Someone's going to tell you what to do, and you need to follow that. It's almost like you move almost to military kind of mode. So you need to kind of switch your hats from being an independent mountain guy into being someone who plays as part of a team. Leadership is incredibly important. It's one of those skills that is paramount for the successful operation of the team. And interestingly enough, we kind of mimic what's happened within North America in the last number of years. So in the mid-'70s when I started, it was definitely a command and control style of leadership. There's a common line used to be called, the suck it up buttercup. Be tough, don't show any emotion, do what you're told and just get out there. So it was very much driven by that type A personality, which doesn't work for everybody. And as things have evolved over time, because business used to be run that way as well, Nowadays, they're much more into a more distributed type of leadership, but also a leadership that does take into consideration, emotions and those types of things. Because like now, we actually find that you have to maybe spend a little longer explaining some things or talking to people and making sure you have the right fit. Because if we're doing a body recovery, there are people who just might say, look, I just can't do that today. And that's okay. We want them to do that. We want people to sort of self-select for where their capacities are and how they're feeling, because we want to have the most effective group that's out there.
The environment within the team has been incredibly supportive from day one. From the moment that you kind of get told that you're, a welcomed member in training to the team, there was no shortage of people trying to step up to help mentor me, take me on hikes on trails that maybe I wasn't familiar with and lots of other team members aren't familiar with, spending extra time with some of the member in training to help us with some of the skills so that when it did come to exam time that we were very proficient, which is what we should be. But no, it's just a family affair. Everybody takes care of everybody. And having our regular training on Tuesdays, it really ensures that everybody knows who everybody is and knows where everybody skill level and comfort is with certain things, so that when you do go out in the field, if I'm not comfortable with something, I feel comfortable saying that.
The most amazing thing about the rescue team is the training, because everybody that's on the team wants to make sure you're trained to the best of your abilities, because one day you might be on the same rope as them. So I was taken under so many people's wings, shown how to do everything. It was just incredible. If there was something I didn't know how to do, somebody would come, spend time with me, help me until I could do it with my eyes closed.